Good night. Good morning, my peoples. This is the Awkward Beginnings podcast. It is 15 minutes to 12 o'clock. Um, I'm coming to give you guys a reaction to Gigi, Big Gigi on Instagram and YouTube. Um, she has one of Loose Cannon's best friends on. She's interviewing him, and his name is King Chosen. But to start off with, y'all go over to Big Gigi on Facebook, not Facebook, but on YouTube, and go subscribe to her channel, give her a share, a like, and check her out. Um, I would like to say that Gigi is the most surgical person that I've probably seen on YouTube, and she warned Loose Cannon's so-called fake wife that he has now, Sharice Mills, because she has all the receipts, and she's told him from the jump that I don't want no problems with y'all, but no, don't call me a liar. And she's laid down plenty of receipts to let people know that she's not joking, she's not playing at all. You know what I mean? And you have people that are against her. You know, between Loose Cannon's friends that he have now, the IBM crew or whatever, and she's not here to cause no trouble. She just, she's trying to raise her family and do the right thing. And she she laid down receipts, man. Like today, they had Loose Cannon's brother on No Jumper, which was a pretty good interview. Go over to No Jumper, the Adam and Wax show, and check it out. But they had him on there today, and all of the stuff that she's been saying months ago, he pretty much said, she this girl got receipts, man, and I'd be scared to be her enemy. I would have bowed down through the white flag in a long time ago, because she has some dangerous receipts or receipts, like she like to say. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm bringing you her interview with Loose Cannon's old ex friend that he had. Um, and his name is King Chosen. Y'all go check him out on YouTube and TikTok also. Yeah, his name is King Chosen, and he was a pretty good interview, man. And they were basically saying what everybody knows, about Loose Cannon. Liar, full of shit. And as you can see in my background, I got Pinocchio back there. So that's one of my nicknames I have for him, because he lies so much, and he just don't know when to stop lying. So yeah, y'all check out again. Y'all go to Big Gigi on y'all go to Big Gigi on YouTube and subscribe to her channel. She said it was okay that I react to one of her videos, and I thank her for that. I really appreciate it. And she's been through a lot. She's a survivor from the loose cannon drama, but she's not she's not a soft survivor. She's a fighter, and she's fighting back with receipts. You know what I mean? So yeah, y'all go and subscribe to Big Gigi, and everybody go subscribe to her, man. Because me myself, I want to see her win. She's doing so good on the social media. It's like she was built for it. So again, go subscribe to her. But I'm gonna show y'all her video, her interview with Loose Cannon's ex-friend, King Chosen. So y'all give me a second, and I'm gonna get to it for y'all.
Come on, sweet man. You know you tell me anything. Okay. Well, see, I got a big. You're the one who gave it to me.
All right, y'all. Be patient with me. All right, so yeah, this is G, not the small Gigi like she would like to say. This is their interview with King Chosen. All right, y'all. So check this out.
What are your guys' thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on that? You know, I love a good surprise. So some goodies today, some stuff to unpack. Obviously, I've been seeing like what's going on, what's being said out there, and stuff. You know, everything revolving Tremaine Williams. And I've been seeing stuff. You know, hi Justice. Hey Anna, hi you guys. Everybody, please like, share, subscribe this video, all that good stuff. Just so you guys know, episode 3 is going to be dropping in a few days, so definitely turn your notifications on. You don't want to miss that. So excited for that, you guys. Been working really hard on this episode, so super excited for you guys to see this episode. It is part 1, so definitely dropping a lot of tea and receipts as usual. I'm not gonna say receipts because somebody try to be like, why do you say receipts? But anyway, that's my word. But definitely share, like, subscribe. Like I said, episode 3 dropping soon. So I know we see all this melee about the loose cannon, his indictment, and I see some people saying like, why isn't he in court with everybody else? His paperwork, all this stuff. So I wanted to bring to the stage somebody that knows loose cannon like before me even, and so we can kind of get an insight on loose cannon and kind of like I said, what my whole channel is about, kind of behind the scenes, right? So let's bring up one of Loose Cannon's like closest friends that he's known for years, and let me just let him talk, y'all.
Hey, what's up, G? How you doing?
Hey, King, how are you?
Man, blessed and highly favored. You already know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Been a long time. Haven't seen you in forever.
Man, I know it's been like ages, right?
Yes,
It's
sir.
been like 5, 6 years.
What was that? 2018 when you came down for a week.
Oh, yeah, party.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all that.
2019. Yeah. And who was that cooked? Chef Teasy, I think. Was it Chef Teasy? We can't see you. You blocked off. Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
was it Chef Teasy that cooked that food? I think it was Chef Teasy, right?
Right.
So why don't you tell the channel, to everybody who you are?
What's going on, everybody? My name is King and I've been doing Canon since about 2006, 2005. And when I met him, he was just posing as a wannabe producer. And he really didn't have much going on. So, I just kind of just took him, like, not for a joke, but I just figured he was a young dude just trying to make a name for himself. But what was odd is that he had a lot of connections. You know what I mean? He would call up Sony, he would call up these different places, and they would actually know him, and they would actually be offering him money and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Now, let me ask you a question. You said that he had connections and he called these places. Did you ever verify for really those people? Because I know some people have said, like, he has said he's known people, and then they talk to, they actually go up like phone calls, and it wouldn't really be that person. Like this whole Dirk thing they set up. Dirk had no clue that he was being recorded. There was never an agreement, and something like that. So what do you mean by Sony? Like, did you go to the Sony building with him? Did you call?
Well, he would call them, and they would be the legitimate people. But I after a while, I found out that he was posing as the real Loose Cannon. You get what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
and they would be like, yeah, man, 2 million, yeah, we'll give you whatever, if you want a label. And and so I'll be like, and then I would ask him like, man, why don't we go take the deal?
And what he
Right?
said?
Oh man, Tremaine. Come on, Tremaine. He gonna make up a lie to cover another lie to cover another lie to cover another lie to cover another lie.
Right.
So after a while, I saw that he had ambition, and we just became close friends. And what happened was, his mom ended up getting a settlement for almost $1 million, and so she left us the house in Fontana, and she actually left me in charge because I was the older one and the
Okay.
more responsible one.
So
And
where did Luce? So you met Luce, and he was where is Luce? Where did he go to high school?
he went to high school in Fontana. Okay.
So he was raised in Fontana.
Yeah, he's from Fontana. He's not from LA.
Oh,
The first time I saw him in LA was like on 43rd and Crenshaw, Virginia, and that's when I knew he was valid. That was like years even after we had gotten in trouble. But before that, I just took him as an IE dude that gang banged. I knew his dad was big nutty. So when it's like that, you're kind of born into it. But I figured out, and I talked to their mom, and she said that I guess they had gotten in trouble early, so she had to move them out of LA. So they haven't been in LA for a while.
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, he was living with I forgot her name, Hispanic girl. I forgot her name, man, but she was like kind of, she wasn't retarded.
That answers the question, everybody, if where he's from, or if he grew up in LA, or where he came. 'Cause people say that he just came from nowhere. He just dropped out of the clouds or something like that. You know what I mean? So this interview kind of tells you everything. You know what I mean? About Loose Cannon, and it seemed like he hasn't changed much. Same old liar, same old shit.
She had a disability with her hands, like cerebral palsy or something like that.
Okay.
And he was like living with her, like living off her check.
Oh,
So
wow. Wow.
yeah.
And this was, what year was this?
This was in 06. This was in Hesperia.
Yeesh. Long time ago.
So yeah, we went through a period of time where we were like really doing bad. Even Jermaine, everybody was struggling. I would go out and cut hair because I was a barber. I left LA to come out there and do music because I was a virgin. And I would go out and cut hair and make $40-$50 just to make doubles and stuff for everybody. So we end up getting really close. You know what I mean? We would sleep in the car together. You know what I'm saying? And even when we were at Jermaine's house in the den or something, we would sleep on the same bed, head and foot, and stuff like that. And our days mostly consist of like just playing basketball and hanging out and just doing, young, it's like kind of.
So when did you see him that change shift from him, you guys struggling as young adults, to where he was just like, I need to make it? When did like some shift change?
Well, he's always, like I said, he's always had ambition, and he's always been a great con man. I mean, he conned you. You know what I mean? So
That he did. You ain't never lied, boy.
He's one of the best.
He is
One of the best.
yes,
And he used to tell me, man, just fake it till you make it, chosen. You know what I mean? But he was
doing a
really,
very good job, though. Yes, absolutely.
yeah. Fake it till you
Now
make it.
I want to talk about fast forward. I know that you and him ended up catching a case together.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so what had happened was, and I can speak openly about it. As you can see, I took all 19 charges on the case. So I'm a stand-up dude. I don't, me. And what had happened was, we were just young and kind of doing some things. And we were supposed to close. Well, he lied to me. Let me put it to you like this.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that he had an inside connect at the bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were in on it, and we were going to close for about $50,000.
Okay.
So we put in the loan, and the loan cleared. Now the catch was, it really wasn't identity theft because the paperwork that we had wasn't a real person.
Mm.
It was a ghost profile.
Okay.
So it was a built up, made up profile. So technically, it's really not a crime because it's like that's my alias, but it is a crime because all the documents I use are fraudulent. If that
Mm.
makes sense, right?
Okay.
So, so it closed or whatever, and I went to the bank, and I had the little fake, Alvarado, ID, whatever. And I went in there, and the first time I went in there, she took it, and she was like, "Well, this ID is no good." And so I was like, "Really?" Right, shocked and surprised or whatever. And then she let me go, and we left. And Termaine just, he's impatient, and he's really an ignorant person, and he's really a liar and a manipulator. So I thought that the lady really was in on it because she let me go. So he's like, "Well, man, let's go back. Let's go back." I said, "No, man, you gotta wait a minute." I said, "We gotta get a better ID. You know what I'm saying? We really gotta get it together, and we gotta go in there and present it. Even if she is on it, I gotta present good stuff in order for it to go through." Him being impatient. Nah, let's go. So I was like, "Well, all right, man, whatever, since she's in on it." So we went back like maybe 3 days later, right? Now this time she got up and she walked in the back.
The same woman. You go back 3 days. So
Same
this
woman.
woman, and he's telling
Same
him like,
thing.
"Hey, she's in on this play. Don't worry, it's all good."
Don't worry. And Tremaine, that's the type of lies that he tells you.
Right.
Those are the type of deceptions that's what will get you to move. Because I wasn't committing crimes. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just like, well, shit, 50,000, she's in the bank. Why not?
Right.
She's in on it. Why not?
Right. He's saying like it's good to go.
It's
Nothing.
good. It's
Okay.
good, Chosen. Come on, Chosen.
Yeah. So 3 days later, you go back, and it's the same woman.
So it's the same woman.
Okay.
And this time she takes the ID in the back, and she's in there for a minute. So I'm not new to the game, man. I've been around, so I'm like, oh man, it's all bad. But I'm trying to think, why would it be all bad? I'm naive because he leads you in a deception to make you think that it's all good when it's really all bad. And by the time I look up, I like tore up the rest of because I had like some light bills and phone bills and stuff, and I ripped those up and I threw those away. and I tried to get up, and just kind of eased out the bank. And by the time I got out the front door, the Fontana police was out there like, "Man, freeze or I'll blow your fucking head off." And I'm like, "Oh shit."
Wait. So where's Tremaine while you're inside the bank?
This idiot is sitting in my car that we had made a play for the week before. So a week before, we got like fucking 5 cars one day. Okay? I got a brand new Mustang. Somebody got a Benz. Baby mama got a baby mama car, a Plymouth car. You know what I'm saying? We just got. I think it was a 745. So we just really just was acting the ass, right?
Right.
And we got like 5 different cars. So he was just doing too much. He was being greedy, and he was doing too much because we had already got away with the cars. I was enjoying my new car, my GT Mustang. I was having fun whipping that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So and so that's what happened.
So he's sitting in the bank in the
So yeah, he's sitting in a stolen car. So that's how they tied the cars to the case, to the bank case.
Okay. So you come out of the bank and the building is surrounded?
Yeah.
So you didn't know so who called the police? The lady went into the
lady.
back, called the police?
Yeah, the lady who was supposed to be in on the
supposed to be in on the play.
The lady who was supposed to be in on the move.
So you come out, okay. You come out, the place is surrounded.
Yeah.
They clearly hem you up, I'm assuming. And then what happened?
Right. So I didn't even know that he got arrested. So I'm thinking for sure he drove off. You know, like why would you sit there? Like you see the police come, they don't know you're not. He didn't go in the bank. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So why wouldn't you just drive off? You know what I'm saying? It don't make no sense why you would just sit there. You know what I
Right.
mean? So apparently he sits there, and they catch him in the car, and then they tied the car to him because guess what? The day before, there in the same credit union parking lot, the idiot took a car from the same parking lot.
Wait, he stole a car from the parking
Well,
lot? In the
I told you we had all gotten cars.
right.
Like you know,
This dude's a maniac, man. He's not even a smart maniac. Wait till y'all hear like some of the stuff that this dude used to try to get over with. You know what I mean? But it all comes back to him being a snitch. You know what I mean? He tells on even his best friend. You know, this story is crazy as hell.
right before that.
Mm-hmm.
So the place that he got his car from
Mm-hmm.
was the same lot.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
No, you know he's not that bright.
Right, right, right.
He's slow. I
Yeah,
call him
he
Odie.
like catch me if you can. Oh well.
No, yeah. No, he's retarded. He's a crash test dummy. I call him Odie from Garfield.
Jesus Lord.
No, he's slow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know. You know what I'm saying? He's a slow one, and so so we get arrested, and I come to find out he's arrested,
Mm-hmm.
and his alibi was it wasn't me, it was my brother.
Oh man.
See, so he been telling on his own brother forever. I believe Eddie Boy said that when he went to go see him at court, that he jumped up and said, "Oh, all of those charges, those aren't my charges. Those are my brother's charges or whatever." And Luce Cannon tried to say that he was lying or whatever, but this is proof that this is the type of game that he plays. You know, he's been trying to dump stuff on his twin brother for the longest. And when y'all go see the No Jumper interview on the Adam and Wax show, uh, they had Luce Cannon's brother on there, and he pretty much talks about how Luce, every time he gets arrested, or even now, he's trying to pit the Big U indictment onto him. So he's trying to make it like his brother looks just like him. It was him. It wasn't me. So he's trying to blame everything on him, and he's gotten together with Big U and them, and got them to say that it was his brother. You know, with a brother like that, man, who needs enemies?
We lost you on camera. So his thing was is that it's
It was
not
my twin.
it was my twin.
It was my twin.
Okay. At what point did he say that? At what point did you find out he was arrested?
Well, I think we were possibly in the holding tank together. We were going. No, we were. I think we were in the station together.
Mhm.
Yeah. We were in the station together, and I'm looking at him like you fucking idiot, and and I'm like, man, she wasn't in on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you fucking idiot. Like nigga, this like you got me caught up, fool.
Damn up. Mhm.
Got me hemmed up, idiot. So he over there saying, man, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was Jermaine. It was Jermaine.
Oh, he's saying Jermaine got y'all hemmed up.
Yeah. So he like, tell him, Chosen. And I'm just looking at him like I ain't telling him shit.
Oh no. So
He like, huh?
as
He
soon as
like,
y'all
huh,
get
Chosen,
there,
huh?
his twin.
He like, huh, Chosen, tell him it wasn't me, it was my brother. And I was like, man, whatever, man. Like yeah, man. Like whatever. Like this dude is low. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm never. So the first time we go to court, he was in the holding tank with me, and the sheriff walked by, and this dude started yelling out, "I'm willing to cooperate with the DA."
Wow. Already?
On my
Y'all
G on my soul, G. If I'm lying,
Jesus.
G, you been around me, G. We come on, man. We didn't ate, we didn't
No,
laugh, we didn't giggle.
but I want the people to hear from you because they look at me and say, bitter baby mama. Or bitter.
Nah, hell no, man. You was the best.
Somebody who was before me.
Nah. You was the best, and you was.
Man, like Whack 100 said, you do not want her for an enemy because, I mean, she's got all the receipts. She's got everything. He's done robberies and recorded them, and her iCloud was connected to his, so she got all of that stuff. I don't understand why he's even playing with her. She can cook that food. So she's surgical as hell with the receipts, man, and her research. You'll see some of that on here.
You didn't know about him abandoning his other kids and all that, with Nikki. See, I was around with him and Nikki. Now, Tremaine has a good soft side. I've never known him to be abusive towards women, and I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did.
He's always been protective of women. Now he'll bully a dude. You know what I'm saying? We used to go play basketball at the park, and he would bully all the Hispanic people. I would have to stop him. You know what I'm saying? We'd be driving down the street, and he'd be pushing them off their bikes. You know what I'm saying? Kid shit, stupid shit. So, every time we went to go play football or anything, and that's all we did, and barbecued every day. And play video. No, because mom left us the house.
Yeah,
so when she left us the house, that was it, huh?
I said no. You did say that. Okay, so he's in the holding tank. He's yelling to the guard like, "Hey, I'll cooperate. I'll cooperate." What happened?
Yeah. So at that point, I knew that my whole reputation was at stake. So, we got to court. And they were talking about 4 years or something like that. And I jumped up and I was like, for what? I said, I didn't even hurt nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't draw no blood. I didn't pick nobody up with no guns. Like I said, watch when I get out this motherfucker. Right?
Right.
I spaz out. No, I crash out because I really ain't got it all. So I crash out.
Look, she don't play. She done pulled up the paperwork, everything. I don't know how she found this paperwork, but she's got the paperwork. She's got the receipts, like she say, or the receipts. You know what I mean? Yeah, don't mess with her.
In the whole courtroom, the judge. So the judge like, man, calm down. He said, hold on, counsel. And they went in the back. So she came back out like 15 minutes later. She said, listen, I'll do this for you. If you plead to all 19 charges, I'll give you 2 years with half. You already been in here for 4 months, and you'll be out in about another 8 months. I said, I'll take it. Because.
So did you, at that point, when you heard Luce, when you guys were together and he was saying, I'll cooperate. Did they take him anywhere? Did they remove him from the cell? Did you see him again after that?
No, I mean, at that point, no, but that's all I needed to hear. You get what I'm saying? That day I got off the case. That day.
You just knew, like, after he said that and after he was already blaming on his brother, which we all know is true because he was just, I don't know if you know this, but there was somebody in showed up to his court in the Diamond bail hearing, and he literally stood up in court and said exactly what you just said.
Yeah, that was Eddie Boy. Eddie Boy showed up to the Big U indictment, I believe the first court case. He showed up to Luce Cannon's first court date, and he pretty much said the same thing.
Hey, all those crimes wasn't me. It was my twin. He literally just said that. So
that's his alibi.
You literally just clarified that this is what he does because you literally just did this in court. That only one person, I believe, was in the court that day.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, so I'm sure I see that's a pattern. Him blaming his twin.
Yeah.
So were you aware? And as I told you, I did pull the cases. I did pull your guys' charges. I went through them very thoroughly. And did you know that Lucy?
Okay, Candace.
So let's just pull it up. Just since you said, after you took your 19 charges, Were you aware what charges Luce took? Did you know
No,
what charges he took?
no, I didn't give a shit. I really at that point I didn't care.
Okay.
You know, I was done with him. He lied to me. Now he being a bitch in a cell. You know what I'm saying? Because I got in trouble when I was like 16 years old, and I beat a life sentence at 16. And I was in the first wave of the 3 strikes and stuff. So you know, I was done with crime then, but I figured I could get away with some white collar shit. You know what I'm saying? And try, you know, you trying your hand. I'm young.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever pulled this paperwork? Have you ever seen his?
no.
Okay.
You
Can
know,
you see? Can you see the screen?
yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so this is your. These are the charges that you took.
Yeah.
As we could all see, chat and everybody else, as you can see,
Yeah, that's me.
uh,
$1 million bill. Yeah, Mr.
with all
Yeah,
this
Mr.
charges, and I'm
They call me
explaining.
the ghost. They call me the ghost. I'm
I
really ghost
see it
like power. That's me.
all on here. The charges,
And
right? And
but I,
so
yeah.
let me pull up Tremaine's charges, you guys. So let's look at his charges, right? So you guys saw Chosen's. Let's pull up Tremaine's charges so you can see Chosen, since I'm sure you haven't pulled the
Yeah,
paperwork.
he told me he did 2 years.
So we're gonna pull it up together. So as we can see right here, action came on for sentencing. So count 1, 3, 4, 6, and 7, order dismissed. Reason 1385 PC.
What's that?
Counts 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, order dismissed. Reason 1385 PC.
Wow.
A motion of people pursuant to plea bargain, count 13, 14, 15, 16, order dismissed. And a motion of people pursuant to plea bargain 17 and 18, order dismissed. All of them were reason 1385.
Yeah, well, that's when he became an informant.
Well, I see on yours did not have a 1385 PC.
Hell
Yours
no, I ain't no 13 shit.
of justice.
Listen, man, I've always been a stand-up dude. You know what I mean? If I do the crime, I'm gonna do the time. I don't really do crime.
So let me go to the chat. Let me go to the beginning. So if anybody wants to, well, you guys can see it at the top. There's the case number. And like I said, I looked at them both thoroughly. You guys were originally charged with all the same charges.
Yes.
You both originally had $1 million bail.
Yeah. I'm the $1 million man.
Both $1 million bail. Then both were reduced to $50,000.
Yeah.
Then both of you waived. Okay. Now this is where it gets tricky. Both of you did your declarations.
Mm-hmm.
You waived your Fifth Amendment.
Right.
And then come the charges, and you got 19, and he has like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I can't look this up if I didn't see it myself. But I wanted to do research. Like I said, I'm never gonna come, just come on here talking. You guys all know I had to pull the receipts so we can see it for ourselves.
We
You know
need
what I'm
receipts.
saying?
But and after that, I would never.
What made you stay solid at that point, knowing that he had clearly, right? He told you he knew the girl in the bank. You realized that wasn't true, right? At that moment, you get to the jail. He's literally telling on his own twin brother, and like, hey, right. What made you stay solid when it came time for your plea bargain? What made you stay solid?
Cannon is really, and as you can see, he's really connected in the industry. Whether he lied his way in there, whether he manipulated his way in there, to see the way he's really connected. So, me being an artist and me, just having my background, I figured, okay, I can't do crimes.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. Your phone's on. You're muted. Unmute your mic. Oh, we lost him, y'all. Let's get him back. So as you can see, you guys, while Chosen gets his connection together, he's coming back, figured it out. But like I said, I showed you guys can pull these.
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
All right, okay, yeah. So I figured, I can't do. I'm not gonna do the crime.
Mm-hmm.
But you understand something. We grew up as brothers. You know what I mean? Me, him, and Jermaine grew up as brothers. You know what I mean? For one, we weren't doing anything wrong at that time, so this kind of just came about. So I didn't look at it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do some more crimes with him. But I know everybody. I know Portia. I know his sister. I'm not gonna say anything. I know everybody in the family, and they take me as family. So just like when I came to the house, I'm pretty sure you was like, okay, he called everybody brother. But you can see the way he allowed me to just be free, that we had long history more so
Yeah.
than anything else.
And he told
Yeah,
me that.
even,
Yeah, when he
yeah,
came.
even in your, even we were like best friends. We slept head and foot. We slept in the car. We slept at his uncle Cedric's house in San Bernardino. I mean, we did a lot, man. You know what I mean? So, I, if your brothers, just like Jermaine, Jermaine's not gonna stop dealing with him because he snitched on him. You know what I'm saying? That's his brother.
Okay.
So with family, it's just like, okay, nigga, you a snitch, so we're not gonna do no dirt to you. You gonna
Right.
tell. You
Oh,
gonna tell on
we're not gonna tell on you.
Yeah, you gonna tell on it. So that eliminated. And it's funny because when I came to the house, the guy that I was with was trying to do some business with him in the business. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I'll come hang out, see how he's doing. You know what I mean? And then you want also to give people a chance to grow. You think that we did that in our 20s. I'm 46 now. So for him to still, even now on No Jumper at 42, to be doing what he's doing at 42 is amazing. Because, and not in a good way. It's like terrible. You know what I'm saying? Because you figured that after all of this, you would learn it. Even Big U said it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you personally as well. I was on Crenshaw cutting hair way before I even dealt with Cannon. So I've been knowing. I know all of them people. I know Nipsey. You know what I mean? I knew all of them people, man, way before I knew Cannon. So for him to still be doing the same things all these years later, and actually to have gotten progressively worse, is just mind blowing to me. It's mind blowing to me. I remember the night I was there with you, and then I heard something. Remember, I came in the room, and you were on the ground, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I was like, and because I was gonna check his ass, because everybody needs to understand something. Cannon has never put his hands on me. He has never tried to play that tough shit. And I mean, after whatever happened with me and him, with him setting me up, you know what I'm saying, it got different. But prior to that, he's never even, we got into one little thing, and his mom was like, "Chosen, just leave." But Cannon has never put his hands on me. And so he don't play. I'm different when it comes to me. And I was like, "What's going on?" And he told me that you had a seizure, you
That's
fell,
funny you say that
and
because
bumped your head, right?
yes, he did. He did say that. He
said you
did.
had a seizure, and I was like, "Gee, you all right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be fine." But the vibes, I knew it was something different. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know that version of Cannon. I don't.
Okay, hold on one second. The chat wants me to. They want to know what a 1385 PC is.
Yeah.
So you guys know, I will read the definition. A 1385 PC is a request to a judge to dismiss a criminal case or reduce charges in the interest of justice. It can be filed by the prosecution, the defense, or even by the court itself. The judge has the
That's how you get off on all those charges. Nigga snitched.
discretion to grant the motion if they believe dismissal or reduction would be in the interest of justice and there are reasonable grounds for the decision. Now, let me read in the interest of justice. In the interest of justice, what that means. What constitutes in the interest of justice is subjective and can vary depending on the specific circumstances of the case. Some common circumstances include the defendant's lack of criminal history, which we all know that, Cannon doesn't lack that. The defendant's cooperation with law enforcement.
Hey.
There you go, right there. Yep, that's it.
The defendant's remorse. The seriousness of the offense in relation to the potential of penalty. So for everybody asking, again, I will repeat what the interest of justice means. And it can mean the defendant's lack of criminal history, the defendant's cooperation with law enforcement, the defendant's remorse, the seriousness of the offense in relation to the potential penalty. So we're not saying, like I said, we don't know, but
I know.
Everybody can, you can expect.
I know.
Right.
I know. I can say. I was there. I heard it with my own ears.
I know you heard it.
I know. I can say.
That's why I let you. I'm just
and that's why he tried to. Then that's why he wanted to get rid of me. Think about it. I'm the only person.
Well, hold on. I want to get there. We're gonna hit that next. So I want to hit that. And let me bring this up to the stage. Now I don't want to bring up. I don't want to get no bad memories or anything. And I don't know if you knew about what happened, but I want you to watch first, and then we're gonna dive into what happened with you.
I hope you enjoy the whistle.
So this was somebody who used to stay with us, and Cannon, kind of what you went through, it was the exact same thing, kind of with the no jumper situation and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's your bed right there. I know.
Yes, correct.
Oh yeah, that's the house right there. Yeah.
Exactly. So kind of like the same situation. It seems like this is Cannon's pattern, what he does. And then I know that you saw the no jumper situation. I'm assuming.
I did.
Okay. So tell us, or tell everybody, why did the no jumper situation resonate with you?
Well, because those guys never saw it coming, and they never had a chance to even defend themselves. And I think that that's some coward type stuff. And that's actually what happened to me. You know what I'm saying?
Tell the crowd, tell everybody exactly, from the beginning about that day that changed your life.
Well, remember I called Cannon, and I had my boy from I've been knowing like for a while, and then I had the two girls, and I was like, well, man, maybe we could do a video by the pool really quick or something like that. And I brought the girls up because they were staying from Seattle, right? And she was trying to get home, and then she'd already had some talk with somebody else. She'd already been rescued from another situation, pretty much. I didn't have anywhere to take them, so I just brought them in. And Candace said it was okay, and I figured. So anyway, we was there for about 2 days, whatever. And then on the day she was supposed to go home, I sent her with you to go to get her nails done and to get her hair done.
Right, at the beauty spa that I own.
At the beauty spa, right? At the beauty spa. Mm-hmm. So now I went to go handle some business with my boy in LA. Mm-hmm. And on my way back, Cannon calls me. And he was like, "What's up, Chosen?" And I'm like, "What's up, man?" He was like, "Man, your hoes done chose up." I said, "What?" I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Man, your hoes done chose up." I was like, "Man, I don't know." I said, "I ain't got no hoes, man. You crazy, dude." I said, "Man, they want to stay." I said, "Well, that's cool." I said, "Well, what's up with the business, though?" Because him and my boy wanted to do some business, and he was supposed to sell him some weed and give him some samples. And that's what we were really coming back for, and to get the girls. And my boy was dating the other girl that was there as well, right? He was with her. So anyway, I knew I had a bad feeling in my stomach. And he was like, "Well, just come on. You know what I mean? Come get the samples." So I'm like, "All right, well, that's no problem." So I'm driving, but I'm having my gut feeling like something's not right. So anyway, I get there, and as soon as I get there, what's her name? Clarice. Clarice is like, "Hey," because we had the same birthday. She was like, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "We had the same birthday, And I was like, "Yeah, what's going on?" I was like, I see. They said you want to stay. They said you like it here. And she was like, "No, like come here." So she walked with me through the back gate into the house, and she's telling me, she said, "I don't know what's going on, but one of the dudes here told me if I didn't hoe up, then he was gonna cut my throat." And I was like, "What?" I said, "Really?" I said, "Here? At this house?" She was like, "Yeah." I said, "Man," I don't know what Cannon got going on, man. I said, here go Tremaine with this shit. I said, man, I wish he'd have told these niggas about me, man. I don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really not with that shit. So I said, do you want to leave? She was like, yeah. I said, well, where's your stuff? He was in the room. You guys had us in the room with the security cameras and all that in that room. So we went in there, got her stuff, and then I went through the garage and put her stuff in the car, in the trunk. So by the time I put her stuff in the trunk, what's his name? BT Savage or whatever his name was. You know who that is? Earl or whoever. Yeah.
That's who was in the video, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So he come out, man, you need to quit all that pillow talking. And I'm like, what? You need to quit all that pillow talking, cuz. And I'm like, I said, listen, man. I said, respectfully, I said, this is my brother's place. I said, I wasn't introduced to you. He never brought me to say hi to you or nothing like that. And I've been here for days, man. So I don't know what's going on with you, man. But you know,
So
me
where's
and young
Cannon
lady,
at this point? When
he the bitch ass niggas over there in the corner, just like by the gate, by the pool.
okay.
You know, just standing there. So and then Clarice, she's getting ready to get in the front seat, and I'm standing behind her, like getting ready to get in the car to leave, right? So he was like, yeah, on some crib on the whatever. And I was like, man, look, I don't know what's going on here. I said, but the young lady told me that you said that you was gonna cut her throat if she didn't hoe up for you. And so that's when Cannon was like, oh, she lying. And I was like, so I told Clarice, I said, man, would you get out and tell these idiots so it don't look like I'm hating on or trying to handcuff you or trying to cock block or anything like that. Would you tell these niggas what you just told me? And she got out the car and she was like, yeah, you said, pointed at him, she said, you said that if I didn't sell my pussy, you was gonna cut my throat. And I swear, as soon as she said that, imagine now, she's in the front, I'm behind her, and I'm looking at her talk, and he's standing behind me. As soon as she said that, the dude hit me. Bang. I don't know what he hit me with. I don't know if he hit me with just his fist. I don't know what happened, but I knew I've been fighting. You know, we've been fighting all our life. So I knew I was hurt. My legs was wobbled, and I was dead. And I knew I was hurt, but he didn't knock me out. So I turned on him.
Shit, that's probably what happened to that preacher. The preacher behind No Jumper. You know what I mean? After they jumped on him, shit, he was in the hospital for months. Crazy, man. History repeats itself over and over again.
And I had some rubber legs, and I was like, man, you hit like a bitch. He was like, what? And I guess he was surprised he didn't knock me out. You get what I'm saying? So he tried to square off again, and flops. And what's funny is Karma is a bitch, man. Karma's a bitch because that dude hit me in flip-flops, and right before Cannon got arrested, Cowboy got in his ass at that gas station in some flip-flops.
Yeah, throw that shot in
I
there.
was like, oh. And then my brother called me like, yo, hey, you see that, man? I said, Karma is a motherfucker, boy. Because I was like, man, at least let me get my shit. First of all, you sucker punch me.
Right.
Street code. You supposed to be this big, notorious crip. You sucker punch me. And then, after you sucker punch me, I got on flip-flops, bro. But we was all by the pool hanging out. So G, you know, you had your daughter there. I was just amazed. I don't know Cannon to be involved in no pimping, you know, beating up. I don't know this version of, you know, it's like Puff Daddy. You know,
Right,
Puff Daddy is like surviving Diddy, you know, surviving fucking Luce. Because the more he was able to get away with shit, and now I blame the police because they allowed him to work for them. You know what I'm saying? And they empowering these dudes. See, I know what's going on the inside of the street because they came to me and tried to get me to snitch. You know what I'm saying? And I snitched on their ass. I went to the fucking forensic psychiatrist and told them they broke in my house and tried to make me a snitch with flash grenades and guns. So now I got PTSD from being harassed by law enforcement. So now they can't fuck with me at all.
Yeah. So when the dude hit you, where was Cannon when the dude snuck up and hit you? Where was Cannon?
He was just standing there.
Just
Then he
watch.
said, so after he hit me, he said, y'all go in the backyard. He said, y'all bring it to the back. Y'all bring it to the back.
So he's enticing the fight, telling you
Yes.
guys to take it in the backyard.
Yes.
So what
And
do you?
that's why I felt like he set me up. Because prior to that happening, I remember I walked in your room and him and that dude and another dude was in the room talking. And as soon as I walked in, everybody got quiet. And I was like, hey, bro, some, because I forgot what I was doing, but probably something around the house. And he was like, yeah, Chosen, I'll be out there in a minute. But everybody got quiet and it was uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I put, you in your mind, in your spirit, you start putting stuff together. You start recollecting, different things. But anyway, so after that, we tried to square off and I swung on him and he pulled my sweater. These niggas is bitches, man. Because I don't know nobody in LA that do this type of stuff. Like, you don't get no stripes for sucker punching nobody. You don't get no stripes for pulling. He pulled my hoodie over my head and he split my lip. I don't know if you probably can't see it, but my lip was split from the whole side. And from both split it, and then he hit me in the jaw. Still didn't knock me out. So after that, I was leaking now, and I just got out my coat, and I was like, I told my homeboy, I said, man, get me out of here now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or nigga, or you don't
So
see
your
what I'm doing?
homeboy was there, and what was him and Cannon were just watching this happen?
Yeah. And I don't talk to him to this day. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to him to this day. Because, you know what I'm saying? And then he still ended up doing business with Cannon and got robbed. And Cannon robbed him. I said, man, I said, bro, come on, man. I said, what you expect? I said, I've been knowing the dude for 20 years and he did this to me.
So
what do you really expect?
After you got out of your sweater and you're leaking everywhere.
So I got the leak out of there. I left. Training didn't really want to stay, but you would know more than me what happened with that, And then I got her back to my people house, and then I got her back to Seattle to her son. You know what I mean? But I didn't. Yeah, but I didn't know I was hurt. Because I played football. And I thought I had a concussion. I didn't know I was really hurt. So I was still like going around, like hanging out, partying. My head was swelling up. I didn't know what was going on, and my brother kept telling me like, "Hey, bro, you need to go check on your head. Don't play with that." And it was about like 3 weeks later, I finally went to the Killer King, well, King Drew, and I went immediately up to the ICU. And they said I had internal bleeding. So when he hit me, I have so now I have frontal nerve damage. So he popped the nerve. So he hit me right in my cheek. Man, let's make it to the nerve. So he popped the nerve in my head, and he shifted my brain.
Yeah, Luce Cannon, that dude's sick as hell. Dude's sick as hell, man. Like, to do that type of stuff to people and to snitch on his own brother, that's just sick. Man, that is sick.
So I was just going around not knowing, and when they did the what is it, the MRI or the CT scan? Yeah, they had the CT scan. They saw that I had internal bleeding, and so they said, look, you have two options. We can either open it up and get the blood out and drain it out, you know what I mean? Or you can take these sodium pills and, we'll see how it goes. And I was like, man, give me the sodium pills to open up my head. Right. And so I took the sodium pills for like maybe 2-3 days, and they were horrible. They made me vomit, and so I actually started to wobble and lose my equilibrium. So I went back to the ICU, and this time they took me straight up. I went to the ER. They took me straight to the ICU this time because it had grown. So the very next morning, I had to have an emergency evacuation of the hematoma. I got 2 plates now, 6 screws. I had a 5-star surgeon, man. You can't even really tell that. Yeah, I really, I've been blessed. But the thing of it is that when they opened up my head, they said my brain was smushed in, and so.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. And this was supposedly Bruce Cannon's best friend. This it's just sickening, man.
So when I woke up the next morning, I had 32 staples, and I guess the shock of it all, I had a seizure. So like my family walked in, and I just started seizing, and then I think I woke up like that night, later on that night, and then I had another seizure, and then the doctor was like, "Well, if he continues to have seizures, I'm gonna have to go back in and scrape out the blood. I guess it was got infected or whatever." But he gave me some antibiotics to clear that out, and I actually went into a coma. And while I was in a coma, I had a vision. I walked up to a door, and it was like cracked open, and I heard like laughing, like down south, like your mama, big mama, and them, like I heard this like belly full of laughing, like this joyous laughing, and everyone was dressed in white and gold, white and gold trim, and I seen a hand come like this, and it had some white clothes on it, and I was like, "Are those mine?" And then the voice was like, "Yeah, but you can't have them yet."
I remember you telling the same exact story. So I remember you telling that. That's
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah, and so I woke up, and when I woke up, one of my best friends from the third grade was asleep on my arm. You know what I mean? And she gave me some CBD edibles, little cakes and cookies and all kind of stuff.
All right, y'all. Like I say, this is Big Gigi's YouTube channel. Y'all go over there, subscribe to her, and show her some love, man. She's been so good with this YouTube stuff, man. And I think King Chosen, the guy she's interviewing is King Chosen or Chosen, and I believe you can find him on TikTok as King Chosen. I believe he said he runs a restaurant or something like that. No, just out of respect, I'm not going to show the whole video. So y'all go there and check it out over on Big GG on YouTube. And the video is actually called the Big GG Big GG interviews King Chosen. You go over there and check that out. And y'all have a good night. And I appreciate everybody for coming. Everybody subscribe button and enjoy y'all night, man. This is it. All right.